I don't really fully understand Jonah. I'm talking about the Jonah in the Bible. In the book of Jonah, Jonah was a preacher. And from what I see here, as what I read, he had been a very successful preacher. Now, we really don't know that much about the man. Other than this little book of the Bible, there are a couple places in Scripture where he's mentioned, but we really don't know much about his background. But we can kind of read between the lines. And what I glean here is that God had used this man of God, this prophet of God, before, and had been successful. Now, I'm a preacher of the gospel. I've been preaching for a long, long time, been pastoring for a long, long time, been on the radio. And the thing that my heart cries out for more than anything is success in the realm of ministry, to where I would sense and feel that I'm being used of God to reach people, to save souls, that people would go to heaven instead of hell. That's what drives me. And to be the type of preacher to where I could reach people on a high level and know that there's been success in that. Now, that would just plain old excite me. But for Jonah, that didn't seem to work for him. And he was concerned about his own reputation. And unfortunately, and like I say, I've been in the ministry for a long time, I know a lot of preachers. And that's something that can creep in mighty easy, to where we take our time and our focus and our attention off of the work of the gospel, of serving humanity, bringing truth, sowing the seed. We get distracted from that. It's very easy to happen. And the focus begins to become upon self. And as a matter of fact, I wrote about this in the book that I wrote, Dreams and Visions and Stories of Faith. I wrote a whole chapter concerning saying, well, it's not about me. And I told the people who are reading the book, I said, I got writer's cramp. Whereas for a whole year, I've struggled. I couldn't write that chapter of the book. And finally, God just came to me and he told me, he said, you know the reason why you had a hard time reading that book that says it's not about me? He said, it's because it's not about you. In other words, he showed me that flaw in my own character, that it's so easy to get caught up to where ministry becomes about the individual and not the work that God has called us to do. And this work of sowing seed, presenting the gospel, seeing people respond to the gospel, and becoming a change in their lives to where they're no longer serving sin, but they're serving the true and the living God with a hope of heaven. And in other words, as a pastor and a minister, it should be all about serving. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.